Hey guys, my name is Nikki and I want to welcome you here to Carry Grace. Alright, so today we're going to be talking a little bit about Flylady Zone Cleaning. I have not been doing this long enough at this point to just kind of jump in and hammer out a bunch of zone cleaning videos and show you all the things that I'm doing. That's not what this video is. I recently completed the 31 baby steps. A lot of you followed me along through that journey. Some of you jumped in with me, which is really awesome. Hopefully you're all still doing really well with the 31 baby steps and the routines that you created during that process. My morning routine and my evening routine have pretty much been established at this point. They are still going well. All right, so once you kind of established your routines, at that point is when you're ready to start working on your weekly home blessing hour, your basic weekly plan, and then after that you start working on zone cleaning. You don't start zone cleaning though until you have decluttered your home. Now my home is decluttered. I'm not saying that there's not any clutter anywhere at all, because I feel like most people have some clutter somewhere, but it is something that I do stay on top of, so I don't have massive amounts of clutter. So for me at this point, I'm kind of working on my weekly home blessing, my basic weekly plan, and zone cleaning kind of a little all at the same time. Now, I'm not saying that that's the best way to do it. That's just kind of where I've chosen to jump in at this point. The biggest reason is because for me, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I didn't start this process with a messy, over-cluttered house. I started this at a point where I tend to kind of do all or nothing. I really needed the most help with establishing routines. I clean my house. I clean my house too much most of the time and tend to make it the focus instead of all of the other things that I really do want to work on. So for me, it's kind of been about creating routines. It's been about time management. It's been about making other things a priority and kind of just learning how to juggle all of those things together. So routines are going well. I've been working on these other things, and the zone cleaning started off going really well. I was able to, I sat down with the Flylady Zone Cleaning list, and then you just work on it for 15 minutes each day. I have my list in my planner, and I just kind of check the things off, and then when the next week rolls around, I go to the next zone, and things have been moving fairly smoothly. What I'm finding though is now that I've been doing this for a little bit, I'm finding that our schedule has been different. We've had a lot of extra things going on, and I've had a harder time setting aside my 15 minutes each day. I also haven't been doing zone cleaning long enough to know exactly what it is that I really want to hit each week, because I kind of really want to customize this and make it my own. I want to take the Flylady Zone Cleaning list and use those as a guide, but then also incorporate some other things that I want to do. And I haven't done that yet. I haven't been through my zones enough time to know exactly how long it takes me to do things. I don't know exactly what I want to add to the list or take away from the list, things like that. So it's all still just kind of feeling in process. And I've noticed that as we kind of hit a really busy season for our family, y'all, I'm not going to go into detail, but the last 2 weeks have felt crazy. And while that's okay, that's just kind of life sometimes. You have times that are busier than others, and all of those things are fine. But I found that it's been a lot harder for me to find 15 minutes to do my zone cleaning each day. Most of the time, this would make me feel like a failure. I would feel like I'm not doing this right. I would feel like, why is it that everybody else can do this and I can't seem to make this happen? But instead, I'm realizing that, number one, I am not striving for perfection. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday. I want to do this better than I did last month. Maybe it's not better this month, but that's okay. Maybe I can do a little bit better next month. My thinking is changing, and it's so exciting. The reason I wanted to share this is because I know it's so easy to find people on YouTube and they're like, just do the Flylady system, it'll change your life, blah, 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 blah. And it looks like they kind of have it all together. But the middle part is where the growth happens. Like, I will eventually have a zone cleaning list that I just kind of tick away at it each month, and I kind of know how it's going to work in my house, and I kind of know how it's really going to work. But at this point, I haven't been doing it long enough to feel like that. But that's okay, because I know that it's coming, and it doesn't mean that I'm not doing this right. If you're feeling this way, it doesn't mean that you're not doing this right. It just means that we're in the middle of making changes. It means that we're in the middle of shifting things. It's a process. And you guys, I've said this from the beginning, I'm going to trust the process. So if you are in this process, if you're in the middle and it's feeling hard, it's feeling like you're not doing it right, just keep going. All right, so just kind of an example. This week has been crazy. Last week was our fall break. My husband was out of town. I said I wasn't going to go into all this, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Last week was fall break. My husband was out of town for several of those days for work. I ended up getting really sick one day from something that I ate. Another day, I cut my finger really bad. I was chopping some things up, and I cut off part of my fingernail, and it was not the best thing, but it was not the worst thing. It was not the best thing, but it made it so that there were a lot of things that I just couldn't do several days. And then coming off of fall break, we're going to try to transition back into doing homeschool full time. And on top of this, there's just been all the other things. And so because of all those things, the first thing for me that had to go was zone cleaning. And it was just because there were all these other things that I kind of had to catch up on, just life things, not cleaning things. I knew that during the time where things were feeling really hard, I knew that the most important thing for me to focus on was my morning routine and my evening routine, so I kept going with that. Every day wasn't perfect. Again, we're not aiming for perfection. So all of that to say, this week I had the opportunity to feel like I wasn't doing this right. I had the opportunity to feel like I was a failure at this and like it's not going to work, it's not going to keep better. But I didn't. So like I said, I can tell that there is growth happening, there is change happening, and it's a good thing. So this week for zone 3, when you're seeing this, it's actually zone 4, but when I'm filming this, it is Friday afternoon at the end of zone 3, and I have done 0 zone cleaning this month. This is the zone where for me, it's really easy to really want to be able to hit all of the rooms, even though I know that they don't have to all get hit every single month. In my mind, I still kind of want them to. So this week, what I'm going to do, I have a little chunk of time before everybody gets back home from where they're at. So I'm going to take those few minutes. I'm going to go do 3 things upstairs. I'm going to do the things that, even though they may not be the next thing on my list, I feel like they are the things that are the most important to kind of keep that zone the cleanest until next time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab my bleach water. I've talked about this before. We have old bathrooms and I have to bleach the grout in them. So I'm going to go bleach the showers. I'm going to let that sit and then I'll rinse it. I'm not going to scrub the showers. I'm not going to do all of that. I'm going to do a really good dust in both of my kids' rooms. And when I say dust, like I'm going to pick the stuff up. I'm going to dust everything off. I'm going to use the spray on the wood furniture, things like that. And then I'm going to do a really good vacuum, not just the middle of the rooms. I'm going to vacuum in the corners and, you know, up under the bed and you know, the front of the closet and the things like that. And then I'm going to be done. And I'm going to let myself feel like I accomplished zone 3. I'm going to check the things off in my control journal and I'm going to let myself feel like I did it. I'm not going to act like I just skipped zone 3 because I didn't. I did the things that I was able to do, and it doesn't mean that I'm doing it wrong. It just means that this was all I could accomplish this week. And this zone is going to come right back around before I know it, and then I'll be able to do something else on the list. All right, guys, I know today's video is a little bit rambly. Like I have said before, my purpose in this is to really share the journey part of this with you. I don't want you guys to just think that I jumped on the Flylady train and then, you know, several videos later, I just kind of have it all together and I'm rocking the zone cleaning thing and it's all just perfect, because that is not how it is. I want you guys to see that There is a process. You don't get it right every time. It might look different every single month, and that is okay. It doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. It doesn't mean that you're failing at the Flylady system. It just means that you are human and you are doing the best that you can. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it encourages you. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new to my channel and not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys soon.